full come to Jesus moment.
Ooh, ooh.
What's next for us, Dom?
I want to
Now
slow dance with
after
somebody.
part-
You need a lot of grace, but I wasn't always in a space to like give grace. I think I've always been like,
Notice anything different about me? That's right. Full 10 of blue. Hey everybody, this is Dean FM, and today I wanted to do another reaction video. This one is to what this couple learned from their breakup, and it's by the channel of Flattery29. You know, I was scouring through the web like some sort of creature like I look like, for like some love. I've been trying to pick them out. If you have a recommendation, please let me know. Check out my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, official YouTube page.
I was obsessed with you. 3 months, 4 months in, I was
Mariah
like,
Carey.
definitely need to be with you.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Period. Not period. That breaks my heart. Mm-mm.
So how did
Show it a
we
drink.
meet? What was it, like 5 years ago, give or take? And I had an event downtown. I was plotting, and I was like, I need to figure out this dude. So I invited you to my event. I thought you were straight. I thought you were straight. And when you left, you gave me a hug, and the hug, I was like, he's gay.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that's gonna be my man.
Let's not do that. You know, I'm a hugger at heart. And you know, so let's not talk about like making it uncomfortable all the time, because it's not. You know, I like to hug everybody. It stemmed from loving my grandmother. Every time you hug somebody, it doesn't have to always mean that they're gay as shit. Like that right there is a get.
Very interesting
Because
situation.
I was going through a pivotal time in my life.
So where was our first date?
In a hotel.
Not just in hotel.
Embassy Suites
It
or
was an
something.
extended
stay. This is
Off the
extended
freeway.
bad.
And I'm thinking like, oh, like you're just staying in the city for whatever reason. I had no idea that you was actually like living in the extended stay for the
Y'all
time being.
just
So after the
pondering about each
extended
other.
stay, we went on a couple of actual proper dates
Okay,
that
good.
were outside of the extended stay. And then Hurricane Harvey.
And then Hurricane Harvey happened, which I think probably was like the jump start into it.
Some time went by.
Jump
Yeah, we
start or
moved
the-
in together.
Or I moved into your place.
True. Honestly feel like it felt kind of quick.
So we drove to see my family,
I would think
and
it'd
that
be-
was like 13 hours. For me, like taking you home to see my family, it was weird. Like it felt very normal and natural as like something I
Right.
wanted to do, but it felt
Yeah,
very
that's
kind
good.
of like you're important to me, they're important to me, so this is what I was terrified.
I mean, I knew that they were gonna love me because
You know, I don't know. I'd be so happy to bring somebody home to have at a family event or a family dinner, because I'd be like, hey, that's me a boo. I think it's cool for you to have, at least if the person is worth it. Make sure they're worth it. Make sure they're not like crazy out of their mind and you just bring somebody that you just hooked up with once the night before, and he's like, invite him over, and he's probably still hungover from the night before when you met him. It's because he was drunk as crap. But you don't want all that.
But it felt very kind of like you're important to me, they're important to me, so this is what I was terrified.
I mean, I knew that they were gonna love me because
You don't have to do it, by the way.
but I was a little nervous. I think like one thing I enjoyed the most is when I like was watching TV on the couch at your mom's house, and like I fell asleep and like I woke up and she was like making food. It felt like I was at like my mom's house. Like I felt at home, and that
She
was
was
I think the
making food?
first day.
Why did we break up the first time?
I think she would be standing over you.
Why did we break
with
up?
like a-
I don't even want to
like
say
a
the first
tray.
time because I don't want there to be a second time.
I think
Definitely
the timing
is
was
like-
wrong. Yeah, we started living together really based off of like convenience. We had kind of just met, and then I feel
Yeah,
like
don't
we
rush
honestly
into
both
it.
started like really seeing who we were at the time through like living together, which is not smart. And I think the type of relationship I was wanting back then, I'm not sure if I was fully mentally ready for it either. But I was like expecting a relationship that in my mind like looked a certain way, and I was expecting things from you that I don't think you had the space to give.
I would say the reason I think that we didn't have the most success.
Okay, I don't know if anybody else really identifies with this, or a lot of people do, or I'm sure that some people do, because when it comes to in a relationship, I don't know if it's amplified in queer relationships to where we kind of are more desperate. Like we want that partner. There is plenty of fish in the sea for straight men and straight women. It's not quite the same, especially when you're not even gay, but you are gay plus a person of color plus queer as hell. Don't rush into it. I have done that so many times. Heartbreak does not take away the legitimacy of those feelings that you are having them in a quick manner, but when you have them, make sure that you're taking everything into consideration. Make sure that you're talking to your family, talking to a therapist, talking to your friends, like telling them what's going on. They might be able to give you some more insight and be able to tell what's the tea. If it turns out that you rush and your heart is broken, stay in there and feel what you want to feel and be able to cry and cry it out, because crying always helps something. If you have a good reason to cry, do it. Because crying, no matter what the damn reason, it's a good thing to let loose.
I will say the reason I think that we didn't have the most successful go the first time was because a lack of being able to understand and communicate to each other in the healthiest way.
Okay.
And I think part two, I actually really like calling it that. I think part two, like, we learned from the lessons in the first go around. I do think that you have
Which were that you had to
better
communicate.
than most people.
Yeah, you're someone that, like, you need a lot of grace, but I wasn't always in a space to like give grace. I think I've always been like so structured about stuff. And
You weren't
so
having
now
it.
I'm able to like pause and allow grace, hear you out, and not just only hear my own,
Oh boy.
like how I think things should be. You know?
That's so gracious of you.
So gracious of me.
No.
We didn't talk
Amazing
for
Grace
like 2
needed
years
a
or so.
place. No.
We ran into each other in Target. In my mind, I was like, oh my God.
Again?
I think I texted you and was like, hey, it was good to see you. And you actually responded. And I think we ended up like meeting up to like talk.
I also was under the impression
talk.
that you were in a relationship, which I was like, this is very inappropriate. And then you're like, oh, I'm not in a relationship anymore. And I'm like, great. So now there's no excuse to get out of this.
You all need to be a
So
little
then
more.
we started talking. I don't remember
say
when
this.
this was. I mean, we were obviously like kind of communicating a little bit, but I texted
Y'all keep
you,
saying communicate, but y'all ain't communicating a lot to me. But I'm not going to read the room too much, but there is a lot of incomplete sentences. First guy was just like, I think that we needed to kind of like try to, communicate, you know. And then the second thing I learned was that the first thing I learned was important. like I don't know exactly what he's trying to say, but I feel like they seem hesitant. On a real note, they seem like they don't really want to go into much detail. They seem like they're holding back a little bit, which is why I kind of feel that this is kind of stupid. I kind of feel like this, again, an awkward situation to have on a live platform. Like, they're hashing it out. I'll come into the room, but y'all don't hash it out. Y'all are being too cute, but yeah, it seems like, you know, especially when they said they were talking about how they were meeting at, did they say Target or Kmart or something like that? And they were like, hey, let me text you. And then it's like, I thought y'all are broken up and y'all meeting at Target and then texting. Did you both delete each other's number? Or maybe they were like, they reminded each other of each other and they're like, okay, hey, I want to text this guy because I forgot about him. Y'all need to be more conscious of the situation.
remember when this was. I mean, we were obviously like kind of communicating a little bit, but I texted you like out of the blue when I was watching Insecure, and the season finale had like just went off of Insecure, and I was like, "Are you my Lawrence?"
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I think
FWB.
after that is when we end up having one of these like long,
Yeah.
drawn out, like full come to Jesus moment.
Ooh, ooh.
What's next for us, Dom?
I want to
Now,
slow dance with
after
somebody.
part two has started, I want to continue like having fun with you and exploring and having adventures.
What are we gonna do in the next 5 years? What does that look like for you?
It starts with never breaking up with you again.
Try to know what you're doing. This is not an area to be uncertain. And by the way, I wish I could hold hands, do the whole like waltz and stuff. What dance were they doing at Cinderella's Princess Ball? Did she run with one shoe? The dance that they were doing a slow romantic dance. The only people I've danced with have been drunks. They've had a little dance going on in the pants as well. And it's not, I can't do it. Like, please come to terms. Please come to grips with what you are trying to go for. You all are so cute, but you need to know, have a little brain plan.
That's gonna be fun.
Are y'all moving in together?
I'm excited. I get to totally revamp your house. And then at some point, you're gonna
This seems a
propose.
little rough.
And when you do that, we have a wedding to plan. Solid year to plan. Most of it is planned already. I'm not proposing to you.
Played and simple.
Not doing
Boom,
it.
Oh, he said wedding.
You want to talk about why I'm not
Y'all
proposing to
mumbled
you?
in
In the 2 years that we are broken up, I got engaged. So
To who?
Savante has made it very clear that
Well, that's-
I will not be getting
That's,
proposed
no.
twice.
No.
He
Oh
also
my
got
God, no.
engaged.
No, okay, so what are we doing? This is supposed to be like an inspiring gay love story, black gay love story. In 5 minutes, they have already put me down. They've already made me feel depressed, hopeless, If the brother I fall in love with is a good person and we love each other and we end up being together someplace in the middle of our dating history, he's going to be marrying somebody or propose to a whole other person. You can't do that. Why does the brother have to do that?
I got engaged 3 months after we
broke up.
Okay, so what is the point of the story? It's like,
And
it's
so-
a good story,
Very Kim
bad story.
Kardashian.
How
I guess
does
it's
it
showing the-
feel to love a
You know
black?
what? Let me correct. I understand. Okay, so I understand what this story is going for because this is about a real relationship. Real relationships have ups and downs. Real relationships can have all these struggles, all these problems that are normal. They're not to be ashamed of. If you two are in love with each other, I think that if you're going to sit down together and do this kind of back and forth in a private setting, in your own setting, which you probably should do, you all are together. You all are supposed to be, like that. But it's a real story. It's a real love story.
It feels like a privilege. And it feels exciting.
I definitely understand how you mean like a privilege because we're not all privileged enough to have this experience and have it openly and freely. And we definitely don't come from that at all. So it feels good to be able to like love a black man freely and also be able to like share that love with our friends, our family, the people we work with, and just like the public in general, and like do it in a way where there's no like holding back.
Like it feels like something that I
So
get
beautiful.
to do that like
Yes.
not everyone has been able to do and can
It's
do.
true.
I get to do it with someone that like
Level of
I
privilege,
actually really
for sure.
love. Like love is
Good
beautiful,
thing.
black is beautiful.
Black is beautiful. Gay POC lives matter. That was so beautiful. Okay, so anyways, I love that. And I would like to say, just disclaimer, this is my personal opinion. Putting in the factor of somebody getting into a whole other marriage with somebody in a relationship, that's something I would not encourage. I think it's fair to say that as an influencer, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say y'all should be like going out, finding your soulmate, leaving your soulmate for a couple of years or however long they had left each other, I forgot. Or if they even left each other at all. I would suggest that personally, it's somebody's own decision. They have a right to, obviously, do what they need to do or judge that predicament how they want to as the affected or the victimized party. And that is a victimized situation. I'm always rooting for that not to happen. They were so sweet. They were so beautiful. They're so lovely. I wish them the ultimate best and happiness and success, fulfillment. Anyways, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.